Unconventional.
You're such a fool,
That's
honestly.
what we are.
That's so not the vibe. The Olympics will now ban any athletes who wear a Black Lives Matter shirt, kneel during the national anthem, or raises a fist to oppose racism.
Rule 50 of the Olympic Charter provides a framework to protect the neutrality of sport and the Olympic Games.
So there was 3,500 odd athletes that were surveyed.
No kind of demonstration, political, religious, racial propaganda is permitted.
There's around about 70% of athletes apparently were against any protests during the Olympics because they felt like it would distract from the Olympic Games and what it's about. I've got to say it. Sorry, I've got to say this. So one of our followers on Twitter, Chris Turner, he likes to do research and dig. He found on the Olympic.org website the actual survey and everything about the survey. And this was just kind of hidden within all the different things that you can look at about what the survey was about and who conducted the survey and X, Y, and Z. I think it was under athlete expression. That's what the title was. So I just kind of read between the lines and thought I'm assuming that's the athletes that took part, right? I'm sorry, but I just was cracking up. So out of those 3,500 plus athletes, first of all, 55% of them were Olympians. 45% were elite athletes that hope to be at the next Olympics. Who knows who they are, but half of them, not even Olympians, but hopeful to be at the next Olympics. So, split evenly in gender, 49% male, 50% female, average age, 33 years old. Of the people who took part, the participants,
yeah.
Did I get that right? Oh, got it out eventually. Right, so, the sport that contributed the most to the survey. Have a guess. Aquatics.
I knew aquatics was going to be at the top. I knew it. And so I don't know why. I just knew.
So aquatics, 12% is number one, right? For the most out of the 3,500 athletes, aquatics, which when I watch aquatics, I don't know how many black people I've ever seen.
Regina, I don't see no black swimmers.
Right, there's no black swimmers, right? So they contribute. Track and field, athletics, was second with 12%. But I would like to know, out of those ones in athletics, which we spoke about last week being predominantly black, that are doing stuff on the podium and are actually winning the medals, that are going to be seen doing this stuff, how many of the athletes that took part for that 12% were black? I would like to know this. Anyway, listen to the third sport that participated. Skiing and snowboarding. Not even bobsleigh, where so obviously
a former sprinter, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah.
Who skiing and snowboard. Then rowing, skating, shooting, cycling, gymnastics. You might get a couple in the gymnastics. Sailing. No one ain't no black sailor. Canoe, hockey, judo, you might get a couple. That's 3%. Right, so they're the numbers. That's the amount of people that took part, athletes that took part. Now, out of 185 different countries or NOCs, who was the number one country with the most athletes that took part in the survey? By double.
By double?
China. I don't know if I've ever seen a black Chinese person. Maybe a bit of a mixture, but China don't have no black people. There's 14%. And the next most is USA with 7%.
7%.
So China added double the amount. Overall, the if you go over and they're adding in Winter Olympics as well into this.
That's what's bothering me.
Winter Olympics doesn't have like literally any black people. There's no black people. Only maybe if you're lucky in bobsleigh.
I find that Winter Olympians have a lot to say so in what goes on Olympic-wise, especially in the Summer Olympics. Because I've never seen it the other way around before. Never. Even when you look at when Canada got pulled from the Olympics because of the pandemic, I'm not here to discuss whether it was right or wrong. Haley Wickenheiser, hockey player, and I just pulled them out It's the best thing to do.
And
Which
she's
is
not even a
fine,
Summer Olympian.
from a medical standpoint, if that's what they had to do, cool. But why would she be the person to come forward and say, no, you're not a Summer Olympian. It's not the same thing. You can't speak on behalf of what goes on with the Summer Olympics. When would a Summer Olympian, however good they are, let's say Donovan Bailey, Canada needs to pull their Winter Olympic team because of the genocide that's happening in China. How would that go over? How much weight would his word have? And this ain't a disrespect to her, but it's addressing the disrespect of overstepping summer athletes when it comes to Summer Olympics issues. And as you can see with this vote, all these Winter Olympians are having a say-so on whether or not this Rule 50 holds up or not.
Do you know what I was really interested as well? The chair of the Olympic Athlete Commission, who was doing a lot of the speaking when I was looking at articles and stuff, her name was Kirsty Coventry. Now, I have no idea who Kirsty Coventry is. She's an Olympian. When I looked, she's from Zimbabwe, right? I'm just going to show you the picture of her from Zimbabwe. She's blonde hair and blue eyes. And don't get me wrong, different people can class themselves of whatever if they're born in that country. But as far as I'm concerned, and I'm aware, Zimbabwe, one of the countries within the continent of Africa, to me, their majority of population is going to be black, right? You would think. The one athlete from an African country that now is chairing and heading the Athlete Commission that then comes out and is the spokesperson for the Athlete Commission who basically put this whole survey is blonde hair and blue eyes. It just says everything to me. I'm just saying, just something ain't just feeling right to me. And I don't trust any of what they've put out. And I think athletes need to speak up way more. We can't just sit back and be like, oh, well, we don't have any say. Yes, we do. And as track and field, as the biggest sport and the one with the most black people, we as athletes need to make noise.
Thanks for tuning in to the Unconventional Voices of Track and Field podcast. Like, follow, and join the conversation at Voices of TNF, as well as subscribe to the show across all podcast platforms.